Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, fueled by Gatorade. In Rosemont, Illinois, Parkway Bank Sports Complex, the second of two games tonight to kick off the second half of the AUSL's inaugural season. It's the Blaze and the Talons up next in front of a sold-out crowd. Alongside the former two-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. Well, talked about what might define the second half of the season. One thing has already fallen. That's the Bandits losing their second straight for the first time all year.
Yeah, and it really was the Volts coming out and hitting the ball the way that we know that they're capable of. The Volts, lowest batting average in the league with a lineup that has a lot of potential, and they are down at the bottom of the league with the Blaze, who now has an opportunity to turn it on in the second half. But the Volts and the Blaze fighting, clawing to get back in with the Bandits and the Talons.
And it was all Bandits in the first half of this season. The Talons and them both with 9 wins at the top of the standings. It just felt like it was really the Bandits' first half, though.
In a lot of different ways. Really great ERA. They played awesome defense, but it was their offense that led the league in batting average, home runs, extra base hits in OPS, and also in stolen bases. And for the Talons, they won 8 of their last 9 games. They got Georgina Korik back in the circle from Japan. They got Megan Framo back in the circle from Japan. And this is a team that really started to click, had some late inning wins, great pitching performances, and were led offensively by Hannah Flippen, who early on is an MVP candidate for what she's doing with her bat and defensively at shortstop.
Flippen will be a staple for Team USA this summer as well. They have won 8 of their last 9. Then the Volts, and they came out. The offense was great to go with this perfect ERA.
We saw Rachel Garcia just throw another complete game in the win earlier today. The Volts pitching staff led the league in ERA and opponent batting average against. Peyton Gottschall threw really well too. So the Volts have been strong in the circle. As we mentioned at the top of the show, it is their offense that needs to pick it up, and I think that they will. And then for the Blaze, offensively, they were led by Bailey Klingler, who has just had a tremendous start to the season. Her first half, all she did was lead the league in batting average, spraying the ball all over the field, a little bit of pop, hitting for average. She is so clutch. And because of her, the rest of the Blaze offense caught fire in that first half to propel them into the second half.
Volts have already climbed up 1 spot. They're only 4 games back now out of the top 2. The top 2 teams go to Tuscaloosa for the first ever AUSL Championship Series at the end of this month. Now it's the Blaze's turn to try and get within 6 games of those top 2. We talked about it in Game 1. 6 games over the next 6 days, starting tonight for the Blaze, the Talons, all of these teams. This could define the season for those bottom 2 especially. See if they can follow suit.
Blaze and Volts trying to get back into it. That 5th win for the Blaze was a big one, and now the Talons slide into first.
What is it for the Blaze that maybe stood out to you most? I mean, they were very close, had a number of close losses in there. We talked about in that first game, maybe 2 or 3 of those go the other way, and you're in a great position right now.
Yeah, and they had games where they were able to score a bunch of runs. It was just their pitching that let them down late in the game. So they just have to find ways to finish games. Defensively, do whatever it takes to get those final outs, because their offense really came through at times. They had big leads, but just could not finish and find ways to close out. And unfortunately for them too, as you see Kaylani Ricketts there talking to their head coach, Ali Aguilar. They've had a few injuries along the way. Kaylani Ricketts on the IL, as well as Carly Hoover. A couple of big blows for them.
Blaze offense has started to show some big signs late, tallied 10 or more hits in each of their last 3 games after doing so just twice in their first 9. Big miss, though, tonight. No Bailey Klingler to start this game. Keep an eye, though, the 2, 3, 4 spot there. Leach, Gibson, Horton, and Anna Gold. Hoping Corby Otis will set the table for them plenty of times. Mackenzie Clark is in right field. She was traded late in the first half of the season from the Volts in exchange for Sierra Briggs. Little offense for defense there. Clark gives the Blaze a little bit of power, something they have not had a ton of. They're last in the league in home runs. Clark has a couple to her name this year so far.
Anna Gold has been a pleasant surprise, the rookie out of Duke. playing a great third base, and then all of a sudden, too, just thrust into that cleanup spot with the way that she's swinging the bat. So this Blaze offense, a ton of speed, a ton of athleticism. It's just, again, about putting their pitching and defense all together to close out games.
Getting set for game 2 tonight. It was a quick turnaround from game 1 between the Volts and Bandits. See if the Blaze can turn their season around. Finish the first half with a win over the Bandits. Now turn their attention to the other top team in the league in the Talons. These two met for 3 games in Chattanooga on June 14th and 15th. One of those days was a doubleheader. That series, Amanda, they combined to hit 352, 64 total hits, 11 home runs, 57 runs in 3 games. 26 of those came in game 1, a 14-12 win for the Talons.
Well, and I feel like that series was the defining moment for both teams. We talked about the Blaze not being able to finish games, and the Talons, I think, proved in that series that they're a team that can make the comeback, that can show the fight, that can win late in games, as they've been able to do multiple times. In that series, they had 7th-inning home runs by Sydney Romero in game 1, and then Hannah Flippen in game 3 for the sweep. So it's a team that can hit the long ball, draw the walk, a really complete team that shows a lot of fight late in games.
On the other side, the Talons' second best offense in the league from an average perspective, home runs. Pitching staff is just getting better right now. They have the 3rd best ERA, but Coric arrived late. Faramo arrived late. Coric's been excellent since she got here. Faramo started a little bit slow against the Blaze, but she's starting to get going now, too. It's an extremely dangerous pitching staff. They are still missing, though, Montana Fouts and Maya Brady on that injured reserve list. So this is a Talons team who's won 8 of their last 9, and they're still not at full strength. Megan Faramo gets set for the start tonight against this Blaze lineup, who's been hot, as I mentioned. Faramo, a 1-0 record, a 5.48 ERA. This is going to be her 8th appearance, 4th start. She leads them in appearances. She leads them in innings pitched. And as we mentioned, starting to get better and better.
She definitely just was determined to get better after that first tough outing that she had against the Blaze, and as that first half went on for her, she came late. You could see it within her, fighting more, locating pitches a little bit better. It's a tough turnaround for the players that come from Japan. They just played a ton of games and they had to travel over. I mean, traveling across the world is hard even when you're not a professional athlete. Nevertheless, turning right back around within a day or two, having to compete against some of the best athletes in the world.
Is Bailey Klingler in the Blaze dugout, out tonight. That is a huge miss. One of the best hitters in the league so far, a 500 average. They'll hope to get her back quickly. Couple home runs, both of them came against this Talons team. One of them was the first ever Grand Slam in AUSL history.
The Blaze, unfortunately, just these players that are not able to be at full strength for one reason or another, and just trying to play a little bit of catch up here, even despite those injuries that they have on IL right now.
3 on the injured list, and now Klingler not dressed tonight. Corby Otis leads things off against Megan Faramo. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Corby Otis, the rookie out of Florida, having a great rookie season so far, hitting .378, .465 on base percentage. 2 seasons at Florida to cap her fantastic college career. Was a first-team All-American as a junior for Tim Walton in 2024. Started her career at Louisville. down in the count 1-2. If you were Ali Aguilar, as the head coach of this Blaze team, what would you have told them when they got back to Rosemont this week?
We're right there. We just need to find a way to finish. I feel like that has been by far the biggest thing. This team is playing with fight that you've seen them have. They're not giving up as Framo gets about a ball and a half off the outside corner there to strike out Otis. Pitcher-friendly strike zone early on to get that curveball. But I think you have to remind them of all the great moments, and they're able to just continue to build on those great moments that they've had up to this point offensively and just find a way to finish.
Big swing for Aubrey Leach for strike one. Aubrey starting to get her bat going, hitting 270, trending up, tied for first in the league in walks, something she did more than anyone in the history of the Tennessee softball program. 9 walks on the season, 5 hits in her last 4 games after 5 in her first 8 games. That is a called strike outside.
Well, the curveball and the screwball that she just got back-to-back strikeouts on are her 2 favorite pitches to go to, and it sets up everything else for her. It's the pitches that she throws the most for a strike. This time a screwball to Leach, about a ball or 2 off the plate. So if Megan Framo is going to get that outside corner that much, it's going to be a tough day for the Blaze offense.
2 strikeouts on just 7 pitches. And there's strike one to Danielle Gibson-Horton.
And the biggest thing that Megan Framo needs to work on from the first half of the season when she was getting hit at times is the location of her curveball in particular. There were times where she would be ahead 1-2, 0-2, and throw a pitch that was just too much over the heart of the plate in those counts. And with the velocity that she throws with, she just cannot afford to do that.
Big swing from Danielle for strike 2.
I'm sure she really appreciated that 2-week break. Imagine the players from Japan who played a ton of games, going straight from Japan to play in the AUSL. Loving that break that they had, mentally and physically.
Framo can't get the outside corner. 2-2 count. Gibson-Horton probably enjoyed it as well. Her son Whitley is about 7 months old, and she goes down looking. That is 3 straight backwards Ks to start the game for Megan Framo.
Locating on the outside corner to both righties and to lefties. Wow. Expanded strike zone. These hitters are going to be swinging to that.
Nothing doing. Megan Framo strikes out the side to start the game against the Blaze. And now the Talons coming up in the bottom of the first. Trying to get on the board quickly against this Blaze team who has often fallen behind this season. Have allowed the first run in 11 of 12 games so far this year. And this is the lineup that they will see against them tonight. The rookie from Mississippi State, Sierra Sacco, leads things off. And then Jadlyn Allchin, who's actually from the reserve player pool, is having a tremendous year. Jumps all the way up into the 2-hole in front of Hannah Flippen, who's been a great run producer, hitting .410, couple home runs, 13 RBIs. And a lot of those came against the Blaze in that 3-game series in Chattanooga. One person the Blaze did not have in that series was Elena Vaughter. From Kansas City, Missouri, went to Staley High School, started her college career at Stanford, played 4 years there, and then finished at South Carolina. She was a 2-time All-American, picked up one of those nods at each school. Has been a breath of fresh air for this pitching staff that has struggled mightily.
I feel your Kansas City pride there, naming the high school. Look at you. At first, I was like, whoa, how does he know like how to say that, where it is? I'm like, oh, Kansas City, Missouri. I see.
Gotta stick together here. those players who came over late from Japan. It's the ground ball to first. Gibson Horton steps on the base, 1 out.
That's a lot of what she'll do with the drop ball that she throws 82% of the time. Followed by her changeup. Second highest percentage, but her drop and her change are the pitches that she will rely on. Makes a little bit of the curve, but let's face it, you're going up expecting to see something down and hard in the zone at 66.
First pitch swinging for Allchin. 2 outs quickly for Vaughter. Just 4 pitches.
Yeah, you're taking notes of the strike zone that Megan Framo got in the first inning, and that's a little bit of a difference, right? Because Megan Framo throws more side to side than Vaughter does, so her screwball and her curveball are going to finish a little bit more off the plate. So a drop ball there is going to go more straight down than the pitches that you'll see side to side from Framo. So Vaughter will try to figure out this expanded strike zone too.
Is that something you picked up on when you were in college, the zone?
Yeah, for sure. And when I was hitting, too, there were certain pitches that either got called against me, that I knew I wasn't getting called in the circle, that just always rubbed you the wrong way. There's that changeup, floating it in there, getting the called strike, dropping it down all the way to 54.
Hard to fool Hannah Flippen this year. With a .410 average, 6 extra base hits. Leads this Talons team in numerous offensive categories. And we had Patty Gasso in the booth with us in Norman, talked about that was one of the big things she likes about Hannah Flippen is the leadership that she brings to the table. Not just with what she can do on the player side. Flippen, one of the best in the league. Entering tonight's 16 hits, was tied with Amanda Lorenz, who had a big swing on a home run in the Volts win in game 1 tonight. Circle and McKinney held down a little bit. Gold stumbling! What a play off balance! Oh my goodness!
Even as a rookie, Anna Gold is going to be a candidate easily for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, great stop, and she falls, just can't get her feet underneath her, but just finds a way to get the ball to Danielle Gibson. And Elena Vaughter loves it.
Anna Gold in spectacular fashion, helping Elena Vaughter go 1-2-3 in that inning. It's a bit unorthodox. I don't know if she trains for this, but here it is.
Not at all that she meant to do it, but it's the throw for me. As she knows she's going to face plant, she still gets rid of it and finds a way to get the out. Not the prettiest out at all, but I mean, when there's a will, there's a way. And Anna Gold glove type of there at third base.
Elena Vaughter was living on every step, too. There was an emotional roller coaster for her pitcher in the circle watching that play. Anna Gold from New York, played her college ball at Duke, 3-time All-ACC. It's a 4-year starter there.
There's a lot of credit to her dad, who she said has been the biggest mentor and coach her whole life, taught her everything that she knows about the sport, and life lessons to go along with it. And she said same for my mom, but Dad got the first shout out for a mentor or coach that's made the biggest difference in her life.
Athletic family. Dad played college baseball. Mom, Julie, played college basketball. And her brother, Luke, was an All-ACC baseball player at Boston College. He was a 5th-round pick of the Tigers in the 2022 MLB draft.
And how about when asked who her idol is, she said the Romero sisters have been role models for her. Where she was coached by Sydney Romero in 2023 at Duke.
Sydney spending 1 year there After a couple years as a GA at her alma mater, Oklahoma, now Sydney at Oregon under Missy Lombardi.
Not to blow up Sid's head too much, but Anna said that she will go down as one of her favorite coaches that she's ever had.
Continues to go to that left side toward her former coach.
How about they're both playing third base tonight?
Cool friendly competition over there.
Yeah, we'll see if Sydney can make a play like Anna did to end the inning.
Sydney fresh off the injured list. Didn't get to play in Norman. Which I know was upsetting for her going back to Oklahoma and having to sit as Gold goes down. That's 4 batters faced for Faremo and 4 strikeouts.
Goodness, all on these side-to-side pitches too. So again with the curveball. So if it's been a righty, the 2 righty strikeouts that she's had, it's been the curveball with the strikeout. If it's been the lefty, it's been the screwball. 2 of those.
Kayla Kowalik as she watches ball 1 down. Fouled straight back, 1-1 count. I've been wanting to ask you this all year. We've seen it from Kayla Kowalik in the past as well, but she's got that split grip at the plate on the bat. What exactly is that for?
A little bit more just barrel control and trying to get your top hand more involved in your swing to stay on top of things like that. And it especially helps her as she hustles down the line because she's a player that can swing away for some power and keep her feet still, and then she can also run through the box and slap like that and use her speed. So when she slides or when she goes to her slap, she has better barrel control to get the top half of the ball.
Such a unique player, can do so many things. Said she models her game after Natasha Watley. Actually be in the booth here in a couple weeks. As Mackenzie Clark swings through that pitch for strike 1. Clark, the newest member of the Blaze, officially at least. She was traded from the Volts to the Blaze, being swapped for Sierra Briggs. So an outfielder for an outfielder, kind of a defense for a power bat in Mackenzie Clark, who has a couple home runs on the season, 6 RBIs. Trying to get that average up, though. Did not get all of this, and Flippen handles it behind second base. 6 up, 6 down for Megan Faremo. 4 strikeouts. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is fueled by Gatorade. Sold out crowd to watch the second of our doubleheader. 0-0, Blaze and Talons going to the bottom of the second. Let's check in with the third member of our team, Savannah Collins.
Well, when Blaze GM Dana Sorensen was building her roster for this season, she tapped into her alma mater. So she was an All-American pitcher at Stanford and went to 2 Women's College World Series. Then 9 years later, the Cardinals made it again. This time in the circle, Vaughter. She was the pitcher, starting pitcher, and it was the first time Sorensen got to see her pitch. Her former teammates, who had become coaches, were telling her about AV, this great pitcher that she had. And so when it came to building this roster, she wasn't originally in the player pool to be drafted to the AUSL teams. She reached out and said, hey, we would love to have you. I've heard all about you. I've watched you on the biggest stage in college softball. Do you want to come play for me on the Blaze? And the answer was a yes.
Well, that was a big yes for them because it's a pitching staff that has struggled, and Vaughter has given them some hope and has really stepped into a leadership role on this staff with what she's done in her first 3 appearances, this being her 4th. She could be the key to the second half of the season for the Blaze. We'll see Tori Vidalis to lead off the second inning. Went 1-2-3 in the first with 3 groundouts.
It's a change up there. And you could tell when they drafted that Dana Sorensen wanted a lot of pitchers in the circle that were down ball pitchers, and Elena Vaughter definitely fit that mold.
There's that part of the zone that we've seen be called for a strike. It's typically been outside to lefties. That inside to Tori Vidalis for strike one. Ground ball is off the glove of Gold. Tried to get there on the big hop. Tori is aboard, the first runner for either team.
And just challenged with this chopper at her over at third base. A little bit of that in-between hop that was playing well behind the bag, had to charge it.
Go down as an infield single for Tori Vidalis. Caroline Jacobson watches that pitch for ball one. This would have been one of the players who really did not want the break, probably, hitting 400 to 500 on base percentage and 10 RBIs for Caroline Jacobson as a third-year pro, by far her most productive season.
Thriving at the plate. So many big hitters, that are in this lineup that hit in front of her, and she just gives them such great protection too. Even when, at times, the first half they tried to pitch around hitters in front of her, she stepped up and she was just so clutch.
Just wonder too, you've seen so many players before this season talk about how they're excited to be coached again. And for Caroline Jacobson, you come out of college, you play 2 years of the Athletes Unlimited All-Star Cup format, previously known as the Athletes Unlimited Championship season, which is the leaderboard style, no coaches. You have a facilitator that kind of helps out your team captain. This year, the coaches returning, big staffs. We've talked about that too. You have head coach, 3 assistant coaches, support staff. These teams have travel parties of more than 30. So when they go on the road, 30 plus people.
A head athletic trainer, an assistant athletic trainer, strength and conditioning coach, equipment manager, team logistics manager, and an operations coordinator. All of these complete the full staffs that all these teams have. It's incredible. Really supportive.
Howard Dobson, the head coach for the Talons, longtime assistant at LSU. Coached some great ones in Baton Rouge. The Andrews sisters, AJ and Aaliyah. Aaliyah out in center field right now for the Blaze. That gets Jacobson on the outside corner. Strikeout number 1 for Vaughter.
It's a drop ball that didn't have a lot of drop down to it, kind of a higher drop ball, more like a fastball located on the outside corner, and just froze Jacobson. Another looking strikeout.
Big swing from Charlize Palacios to foul that off for strike 1. California native, started her career at Arizona with 3 years. One of those years was the COVID season that was cut short. Hit 38 home runs, drove in 121 runs at Arizona in her 2 full seasons before finishing at UCLA.
Mixed up the lineup a little bit tonight after the break with the Talons. They had her in the 2 spot. They moved Jadalyn Allchin there. Would have been in the 9 hole.
Savannah Jaquish not in the lineup tonight. Sydney Romero returns from the injured list, so she takes over at third base.
It's so tough with all the talent in the league. There's just big-named players who are ended up on the bench at times that you're just not used to seeing, like a Savannah Jaquish.
Palacios goes down swinging.
That's a little bit faster of a changeup. I'm wondering, I'd love to pick her brain and see if she did that on purpose. There have been times where she drops it down to 54, but this one comes in at 59, almost like a third speed, like an off-speed drop. So in between that 66, 67 mile an hour hard drop that she throws and that changeup at 54, that was a good-looking pitch, a different look for her.
First pitch gets the swing and miss from Bree Ellis, the USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year, first-team All-American at Arkansas this year, with one of her assistant coaches over at first base and Danielle Gibson-Horton. Ellis lifts this one deep to left. It's not going to have enough. Caught out there by Corby Otis to end the second inning. Well, pitcher's duel brewing here between the Blaze and Talons through 2. Big win earlier tonight for the Volts over the Bandits. Tiare Jennings, one of a pair of home runs for the Volts. Amanda Lorenz had a big one as well, but that was crushed. And then it was the performance in the circle from Rachel Garcia, who took a no-hitter into the 6th.
Yeah, she threw really well to start this game and put up a bunch of zeros up until the end, where she gave up 3 runs, but the complete game that she threw was impressive. A couple of errors let her down late in the game. Effective pitch count and just effective on both sides of the plate, both with her drop ball and her rise ball. Just a vintage Rachel Garcia performance for sure.
Got interesting in that 7th inning, but the Volts able to hang on and potentially get some momentum, snapping a 4-game losing streak and also picking up their first win over the Bandits or the Talons. Their previous 4 wins this season had all come over the Blaze, who entered the second half of the AUSL's inaugural season in 4th place. 7-8-9 against Ferramo, who has not allowed a base runner yet. And Ortez trying to change that. Flippen not going to get her. It's going to go down as a base hit for Anissa Ortez. Her former college teammate Hannah Flippen trying to spoil it. Ortez won. When you look at the Blaze, you think, how can they get a little bit better? Anissa Ortez has had a tremendous stretch hitting the ball over the last couple summers. 420 with 7 home runs, 26 RBIs in 40 games. Just 226 entering the second half. She could be somebody who could really give this offense a boost.
We have a mind melt sometimes, and it's scary because I was thinking that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that right now. I might say it later. And then you ended up saying it. But so it just goes to show we need to talk about it. Like, if the Blaze are going to get back into this thing, we both feel like Anissa Ortez is going to be a big part of it, especially offensively with Klingler out of the lineup. She's somebody who could really step up and just has that veteran presence defensively and also at the plate that could really help them out, get them some wins.
The offense has been so close. They are 1-4 this year when they score 6 or more runs. And that right there just cannot have a record like that. They have losses when they have scored 12 runs, 8 runs, and 7 runs. The 12 runs came, the 12, 8, and a 6 came against this Talons team as Ferramo gets Alicia Ocasio looking. That's the 5th strikeout for Megan Ferramo.
Yeah, if she's going to get this outside corner, she's going to continue to throw it there. Screwball again, Alicia Ocasio with a little bit of a smile, but at this point with 2 strikes, if it's on the outside corner, these Blaze hitters are going to have to just start swinging at it. And
Andrews deep to left. She burned Allchin. Around comes Ortez. She's going to go home. Andrews holds it second. Now Andrews wants third, and she'll get it. Big swing from Aaliyah Andrews. Another one they could use to get going offensively. Just the 2nd time this year that the Blaze have scored first.
And you're not really expecting as much power from Aaliyah Andrews, because usually she beats you in front of you with her short game and her speed, but gets a pitch up in the zone and lets Megan Ferramo provide the power. And As you said, Burns, Jalen Allchin, who's playing pretty shallow, didn't take a great route to it at all. Ortez got a really good jump, really good. She did not wait to see if Allchin was going to catch that. She was almost at second base as the ball was going over her head, and so she was able to score, and then good base running by Andrews as the ball got away from Flippen. Relay in.
Flippen scoops it up at short. Great play to cut down Andrews. Talked a lot about the Flippen offense. This is the glove that's so good.
Good job of getting that short hop, kind of an in-between hop, and then throwing on the run. And knowing, too, like, she can see Aaliyah Andrews in her peripheral vision, knowing that she's going to be going home, so that puts even more pressure on her to field it cleanly and to make a great throw, and then a great tag by Palacios to avoid obstruction, not get in the way of home plate, and then put down the tag.
So Otis on first with Aubrey Leach at the plate. Feels like pretty quickly they've made an adjustment offensively to swing a little bit earlier in the count.
Because you do not want to get 2 strikes and let the umpire make the decision for you on an outside pitch that she's going to. Pitch a little bit off the plate there with the screwball, and you can tell Aubrey Leach is kind of waiting for the call. Is that going to be a strike or not?
Two-one count to Leach. Inside strike 2, runner goes, and that's going to just get by. Otis is able to take third. Some aggressive play from the Blaze on the base pads early.
That's another thing they can start to put into motion a little bit more here in the second half, is use the speed that they have. Really take advantage of some great base running. Palacios was sticking that pitch on the inside corner just a little bit too long, as Otis, who has the power, has the speed, is able to take second and then third with the error.
Talons want to talk things over.
If the runner left early at first, the call on the field is the runner did not leave early.
All right, let's see. Already had one runner called out for leaving earlier today in Deja Mulipola. Can't leave until the ball is out of the pitcher's hand. Ooh. That was either right on time or a little bit early. I think she was early. She's going to be out.
This is going to likely do it for the top of the third inning.
I know she's sweating it big time over at third base right now, waiting for this answer to come in.
Tough spot, too, because she likely would have been safe regardless. The throw was a little bit off the mark. And then you've got Aubrey Leach at the plate, who, as we mentioned earlier, starting to swing a pretty hot bat. You've got power behind her. This could have turned into something with 2 outs potentially. How big is that play by Hannah Flippen on the short hop?
Big time.
Flippen, one that saw less of a break because of Team USA training camp in Norman, so she just stayed after the end of the first half when they swept the Volts in 4 games. Flippen and a lot of these players stayed in Norman. About to get the call on the field.
After review, the call on the field has been changed. The runner left early at first. She's out.
That'll do it for the top of the third. The Blaze do get one across, though, and they lead 1-0 here in the third.
Shari and just the entire staff that I played for at the University of Washington definitely inspired me to coach. You know, our assistant coach, JT D'Amico, he's at Georgia now, he would just say, Vic, you're going to be a coach. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Vic, you got to get into it. I think you're going to be a great coach. And I was like, I'm not coaching. There's no way. So I think just they saw it in me before I maybe saw it in myself. Being the head coach at Nevada has been awesome. I love our team. We were able to do some really incredible things in our first season. I'm super honored to be their coach and learn and grow with them in different ways. And I'm just really excited to continue growing the future of our sport at a really awesome place.
The inaugural 2025 season, the Athletes Unlimited Softball League is teaming up with Coach Across America to spotlight the power of coaches through powerful stories from the mentors who shaped our athletes to the players now leading from the dugout. We are showing how one coach can change everything. We've got that coach in a chair right now. Victoria Hayward joining us for a chair chat. The Mountain West Coach of the Year in her first season at Nevada. Their first ever outright Mountain West title. Vic, congratulations on a great first season. We know you've announced your retirement at the end of this season. Just kind of how do you feel about just the space that you're in the softball world right now?
I mean, it's so awesome. I feel super grateful. Thank you for the shout out. It's awesome. I miss my team, man. We just like started the next year's group chat. We're like missing each other, getting ready to go, but super grateful and it's an incredible program that now I get to lead and, leave my stamp on along with my assistant coaches. And they're challenged to keep learning. I'm challenged to keep learning. So that's what this final run is all about. Just how can I soak up as much as possible, learn from these incredible people, learn from new coaches so that just I can be better for them and we can be better moving forward.
Sydney Romero leading off the third inning. Just speaking of you being a head coach, you just get those 2 weeks off. What were the 2 weeks like for you?
Well, the 2 weeks were an official visit right off the plane, camp, which was really well attended, which was exciting. My staff had to go to the Reno Rodeo because that's the life we're about now. So we had fun at the Reno Rodeo and then Colorado for some recruiting. So we were lots of softball still, no shortage in that. But yeah, finding the future of Nevada and watering the parts that are there right now.
Romero grounds out. Ali Aguilar now getting her first chance.
What do you feel like, Vic, was the turning point or the thing that clicked that made you want to be a coach or feel like it was for you? I heard you talk a lot about, other people believe in it, but what was the moment or the day or what was it that got you into it?
Yeah, I think back when I was training for the Olympics, I was, softball was my life. I was being so selfish in just my training. And, I was kind of like, I want to impact. I had actually kind of agreed to work for AU on the corporate side. And then Stacey Newman reached out about the opportunity at San Diego State. And I was like, man, I kind of thought coaching was done for me, but, I'll give it one more shot because I knew I wanted to live in San Diego. And that team in 2022 just really sparked my love for softball, like coaching and just realizing how much I had to give back to them and how hungry they were for it. So I think that group at San Diego State under Stacey, who's here now, which is really cool, just full circle moments. But that team, there was like a moment in the fall where I was like, okay, man, I can make a pretty cool impact. They're hungry for it. And then we went on to win championships and go to a super regional and make history. So that kind of sparked it. Now it's like, we're in, baby, we're doing it.
Base hit for Ali Aguilar to turn it over to the top of the order in Sierra Sacco. Before we let you go, Vic, I got to ask you about your team. Any young players that you've kind of enjoyed watching from a coach perspective that you've been playing with this year?
I mean, I love Hannah Flippen. Like, just watching her do what she does on defense, what she does all the time, but watching her play defense, I feel like I learned so much from her and Sydney just on the left side. But I've had a lot of fun with Bri Ellis. I mean, she's the star of every show, but just learning her process and kind of picking her brain a little bit. But our team is full of like some incredible minds. So whether it's pitching, Meg Framos, best in the business, and there's a really cool softball talk that goes on in our dugout, whether it's scouts, just kind of in-game stuff, and just figuring out how everyone's brains work and how their bodies move and stuff. So we're having fun in those little conversations.
Always enjoy talking to you, Vic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And go Pack.
Thank you.
Victoria Hayward, longtime pro and very quickly rising head coach in the college game at Nevada. Mentioned their first ever outright Mountain West title, their most ever Mountain West wins. And they were close when you're talking about the NCAA tournament. Just fell short of that, but have to think that is quickly approaching for that program under Victoria Hayward. 2-2 count to the top of the order. Sierra Sacco with Ali Aguilar on first base after the single. 2 singles against Vaughter is the only damage so far. Sacco protecting. Hard hit through the right side. Back-to-back base hits for the Talons.
It's been such a tough out this year. Sierra Sacco has. Would have gone probably back to that outside corner drop ball. They try to bring it back in, and it looks more just right into her swing path, and she hits it hard to the right side. Talons got a little something going. The 9-hole Ali Aguilar getting a hit, and back-to-back hits now with Sacco.
Second time through. Allchin swinging first pitch, foul. To Allchin. That's ripped through the right side. She's got a hit in 9 of her last 10. They hold the runners, and it loads the bases against Vaughter. 3 straight base hits for the Talons.
All by lefties off of Vaughter, too.
Just 1 out, and one of the league's most dangerous lurking. Hannah Flippen with the bases loaded. He's talking things over. Flippen and Vidalis having a conversation themselves before Flippen steps up to the plate. Are you pitching Hannah Flippen here?
I tried to get her off speed outside. I would stay away from her with the drop ball, and then also mix in that changeup.
Right up the middle. That was over the plate. Sacco wants to score, and she will. Talons on top. That ball gets away, and Allchin with heads up base running. First pitch swinging for Flippen.
74 miles an hour right back up the middle of the field through the legs of Vaughter, and that pitch was supposed to be more outside than it was. It was more over the heart of the plate, elevated, and just didn't have the drop or the location on it. Hannah Flippen, looking early in the count, was able to also get herself to second on the throw, and the Talons take the lead.
Flippen money with the bases loaded this year, 3 for 4 now. And this is Tori Vidalis. Swings through the off speed for strike 1. Vaughter ahead 0-1. Tori swinging. Scooped up, the throw home is wide, and it gets away, and Flippen's coming around, and she will score.
Uncharacteristic mistake by Urtez, in the sense that this throw is so far off the mark. I think she would have had her with a good throw, or at least would have been close, but the throw leads to an error and an additional run that scores in Hannah Flippen, and floodgates have opened big time for the Talons in this big inning. 4 runs now for them in the bottom of the 3rd.
Dallas made it to second. That's where Victoria Hayward will become a pinch runner. Caroline Jacobson at the plate. It was 4 straight hits from the 9-hole to the
pitch location here. Potter did such a good job in the first and second innings of just living on the corners like Romero was doing, and here in the third, these pitches are just bleeding back more over the plate.
easy one for Gibson Horton for out number 2. Zeros through the first 2 innings, and then 5 combined runs here in the third, 4 of them belonging to the Talons. Mentioned the first meeting between these two teams, the 3-game series, was a combined 57 runs. So the first 2 frames being scoreless was a bit shocking when it comes to these two getting together.
Well, and remember, the Blaze are down by 3 right now, but they had an 11-run comeback to tie up the game against the Talons, tie it up 12-12, and just an unbelievable game that the Talons would go on to win, and Potter did not get the call there, wanted it.
She was ready to jog off, thought she got the outside corner against Charlize Palacios, and misses again, now even at 2-2. Apologize for the technical difficulties we're experiencing. Talons with 4 runs in this inning. Palacios trying to add to it against Elena Vaughter, the starter out of South Carolina for the Blaze. 3 of the 4 runs are earned, but that's one thing for Vaughter. She's given up now 13 runs of the season. Only 7 of those are earned runs. Vaughter calls time, the pitch clock running down. Another 2-2.
It's another pitch that just located over the hard plate. Palacios just missed it.
Charlize continues to foul pitches off. Couple home runs for Palacios this year. One of them was a walk-off against the Bandits the final week of the first half of the season. Got her that time, and squeezed by Kowalik behind the plate to finish the third. Big number, though, for the Talons. 4 of them come across. They have the lead. (4-1) Talons over the Blaze, going to the top of the 4th. There's Bruins on the field. There's Bruins off the field. That's UCLA star Megan Grant, and she's had a long line of autographs. I think she's finally going to get some peace here.
It's still going. There's still some little ones. I think now she's just trying to sit down. Literally for 3 innings straight, Megan Grant has been signing nonstop autographs and been an absolute trooper about it, by the way. There has been a consistent line, and of course now when we show her, the line is done because she signed every autograph of any young softball player in this entire ballpark, and now I think she just wants to watch the game.
Just to watch her fellow Bruin, Megan Faremo, keep dealing right now against the Blaze. Through 3 innings, just 1 allowed.
I think she's even, it broke a sweat. She was signing so many autographs. And how about that one team with their talons up? The talons with their hands and the talons, and that's starting to catch on as each of these teams start to take shape and have their own hand gestures and brand and feel. It's fun to see come alive.
Aubrey Leach getting an opportunity here to lead off the inning. This game really changed with that leaving early call against Corby Otis to end the 3rd. There were 2 outs, but you had Aubrey Leach stepping to the plate, who's starting to heat up. You had Danielle Gibson-Horton on deck behind her. You just never know what that inning could have ended up being. And Otis was on 3rd. Had stolen 2nd, and the throw was wild, so she made it to 3rd for Leach, who fouls that back to make it a 2-1 count. Aubrey, one of 3 backwards Ks in the 1st inning for Megan Faremo, striking out the side to start the game, bounces that in to make it 3-1. So Aubrey looks to take the lead alone in walks this season atop the AUSL. First 3-ball count Faremo's seen. That's inside, and she does walk the leadoff runner, Leach. Couple changes for the Talons defensively. Victoria Hayward out in right field for Caroline Jacobson, and the rookie Bree Ellis moves to first base. She was slotted as the DP to start. She moves to first base for Tori Vidalis. Danielle Gibson-Horton with the speedster, Leach on first base.
Their Arkansas Razorback. We're talking about Bree Ellis from Arkansas playing first base, and that's where Danielle Gibson played at Arkansas. So interesting to see.
One popped up, foul territory. Romero chases it down against the netting.
Talking about the Razorbacks that are here, their head coach of the Razorbacks, Courtney Deifel, is here with her youngest son. Just here to watch, too. I text her, I'm like, what are you here for? Just here to watch. Getting to come on Wednesday as well to see Gibby and Bree Ellis.
Just watching a couple of her first-team All-Americans.
Amanda Chittister next to her.
Chittister, a former superstar in her own right, a silver medalist with Team USA at the Olympics. Anna Gold swings through that pitch for strike 1, fooled by Faremo. Into right field, Hayward coming on toward the line and makes the catch. 2 outs.
I said, are you gonna be my girl?
Next up, the catcher, number 99, Kayla Kowalik.
Kowalik, the walk for Leach. Now Aubrey's going to run and scooped up. The tag placed by Aguilar, but they're saying Leach got in under it. 5 for 5 stealing bases now this season.
Blaze continue to put the steal on here now, as Corby Otis did earlier, and then now Aubrey Leach does. It's like right into Ali Aguilar's knee. One
1-0 count to Kowalik. Leach having to move herself up after a pop-up and a fly-out. We've seen them come from behind numerous times this year. Just have to think that's wearing on them a little bit, weighing on them a little bit after a tough first half, and to come out and have a frustrating third inning and fall behind. It's been a resilient group to this point. They have to do it again tonight.
Just hard to put things together against Megan Faremo in the same way that it was hard to do it against Rachel Garcia in game 1 for the Bandits going up against her. Just hard to string things together, and that's why that third inning looked so promising. It was such a turning point when Corby Otis left her. It looked like she was going to get all the way to third base, middle of the lineup, coming up, I should say, as Howard Dobson comes in to talk to Megan Faremo and the defense.
Couple walks in the inning for Faremo. Next batter she'll face is Mackenzie Clark. They brought her in for some power. They've got some movement. Korick in the pen, as well as Mariah Lopez, the lefty out of Utah.
The fact, too, that these young girls can be right there next to the bullpen and watch these pitchers throw. They're, what, 7, 8 feet? Sam Landry was thrown in the bullpen earlier today, and there was almost 100 people behind her watching her throw. Should get into the game because Rachel Garcia threw the complete game, but just get to be so close to these incredible athletes and pitchers.
Right fielder, number 86, Mackenzie Clark.
Back off of the mask, I think, the home plate umpire, Steve Gould. Looks like he's okay. Good to see. Both umpires tonight behind the plate, Don Brown and Steve Gould, now taking a shot. Clark swings through at 0-2.
I love that changeup from Faremo. That's a pitch that in the first half of the season, I wanted her to throw a little bit more at times, and I feel like she's bringing that pitch in more so far in this game.
Attempt Clark on the rise ball, but couldn't do it. If you could pick a name, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Pick a name that you'd want to watch throw a bullpen. Any name in the history of softball, who would it be?
Oh, can I think about that?
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
It's a pretty big question.
She get Clark? She did. Mackenzie Clark goes down on strikes. Strikeout number 6 for Faremo, new season high. We're going to have that answer, though, at some point tonight.
Can't wait to give it to you.
Excited to present this golden ticket to Arkansas's very own Bree Ellis.
I was so surprised. I was not expecting it. And it was a little bit of like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I still get to play softball. Like, my road doesn't end here.
The Talons, with their first pick, select University of Arkansas's infielder, Bree Ellis.
The fact that I get to call myself a professional athlete and a professional softball player is surreal and something you always dream of, but you never actually expect to happen to you. I have now another group of women that I get to grow the game with and do something that I love with. So I'm super excited and ready to form bonds with everyone.
Well, she's had this title, the Barry Bonds of softball. That started to come up, and in part because she walked almost 70 times at Arkansas this year. Look at these numbers. It's unbelievable.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, just seeing these numbers side by side. Look how Bree has the edge in slugging percentage, and both known a lot of home runs, started to get intentionally walked, something that she had to deal with, especially in that last month of season, in the month of May, from the postseason. See this mom, too, just probably thinking it's so cool recording her on her phone right behind her. And that's the type of attention that she gets everywhere that she goes. Everybody wants to watch her hit. There was the mom with the, I'm calling her mom, I don't know for sure, the woman with the phone, and the young girl next to her wearing the Volt shirt. She's trying to soak it all in. But that's the type of attention that she got in her senior year. A tremendous season.
77 steps to the plate, all eyes on her. Vaughter tied her up for strike 2.
I'm sure, too, these rookies coming off of a college season love the 2-week break that we just had. I think everybody probably had their own reason for loving it or needing it, or maybe some of them wanted to keep going. Maybe they didn't want to break at all. But I think for the college players to have that just breath of fresh air after college season and going right into the AUSL season.
Ellis has played about 70, a little under 70 games this calendar year between Arkansas and the pros. Strikes out, and Gibson Horton can't hang on to it over at first. So she's at first, along with her assistant coach at Arkansas, Danielle Gibson Horton. The whole Arkansas crew is here tonight. Off-speed pitch from Vaughter to start off Sid Romero with a strike. Bunts the third base side, and it's just foul.
So much spin on it.
Puts Romero in an 0-2 hole. Got her swinging. 3-pitch strikeout there for Vaughter for out number 1.
This had a little bit of rise action to it. A little off speed too, but good pitch up and in on the hands of Sid Romero to just tie her hands up. You could tell with that swing, it felt tied up. Vaughter, after giving up those 4 runs, has put together 3 strikeouts in the past few hitters.
It was all strung together. Just one of the first 7 batters that came to the plate in the first 2 innings reached on an infield single by Tori Vidalis. And then retired Romero to start the 3rd inning before 4 straight base hits and the fielder's choice RBI from Tori. Since retired 4 straight, 3 of them struck out. This is hit high and deep to right field. Gone. Ali Aguilar for the 4th time this season, a team best. Drives in a pair.
That little girl looked pretty happy to get this Ali Aguilar home run ball. Drop ball inside, and she just is so quick to the inside corner. Drops her barrel down to get the bottom half of the ball. Going up against a drop ball pitcher, that's what you're thinking. Let me get my barrel below the ball, and she did. Ali Aguilar got hot in Norman and has carried that into Rosemont. Moved her down to the 9th spot, probably feeling even less pressure down there, and is 2 for 2 tonight with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored.
4th home run of the year, RBIs 7 and 8. She leads the team in walks, so her average entering the week just 219, but a 444 on base percentage. That young fan's night has been made.
Her shirt is my favorite shirt that you can get in the merch department. It says softball is my favorite season, and then it has each of the team's logos underneath it. But it only comes in kid sizes, I think. I think they need to make that in the adult size. But softball is because I get that. Softball is my favorite season too. I can relate to that. Not just a 10-year-old, Chucky. A older person than that can relate to.
Go ahead. You were saying? It's kind of my thing, asking people their age on the air, so you got to be careful with that, yeah. 3-0 count to the top of the order, and Sacco, who 3-1 now, excuse me. There is the walk for Sacco as she reaches. Savannah has Ali Aguilar.
Ali, there was a little girl who was pumped to get your home run ball. If you could tell her something about that at bat, about that swing, what would it be?
I think just bet on yourself, be confident, and go for it. I feel like that swing, I was just trying to get a pitch I could drive and put my best swing on it. So you got this.
You told me you were looking for something a little bit strategically. You mind telling me what it was?
Yeah, they threw me a lot in last at bat, and just people have been throwing me that in general. So I was looking for that pitch, and I got it, and put a good swing on it. So yeah.
Thanks, Ali. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ali Aguilar, longtime Team USA member, won silver in the Olympics in 2021. Numerous other medals with the U.S., gold at the 2023 Pan Ams. Former star at Washington for Heather Tarr. Bad news if you're a Blaze fan right now. The Talons are 6-0 this season when they score at least 6 runs.
Talons have hit the second most home runs in the league, just behind the Bandits, trying to catch them.
First game tonight went the direction of the Volts, who are in 3rd place in the standings. See the home run leaders. Bandits are right there at the top, but held down somewhat tonight by the Volts. A late charge from the Bandits, not enough in the 7th against Rachel Garcia, who put together her 3rd complete game of the season. I think the Volts with just 9 is probably the biggest shocker there. Stacey Newman-Denise, said that they weren't necessarily expecting to lead the league, but the Volts being 3rd with just 9 home runs and some of the bats they've got. Now, they've just kind of got everybody back together the final week of the first half, but see if that number starts to climb.
Well, that's why it's tough for the Blaze, too. You see that they just have 7.
Ortez a little off balance. It was going to be tough to get Allchin anyway. It'll go down as an infield single.
But when the Blaze get down by big bundles of runs, it's harder for them to get back into it because they hit more for average. They have speed, not quite the pop that can quickly get you back into a game with a 3-run home run or a grand slam. They just haven't shown that power up to this point in the season, as they're last in the league in terms of home runs.
We talked about what the Blaze are missing too, with Ricketts, Edwards, Klingler out tonight, and then Hoover. The thing with Hoover was they had the 2nd overall pick in the inaugural draft. They took Carly Hoover, who's played in Japan for 7 years now, as this is into the outfield, and another run going to come across for the Talons. Andrews fumbled it for a moment, but their #1 pick, Carly Hoover's only pitched 2/3 of an inning before she got hurt in her first outing. So your #1 pick wasn't here to start the season, but then when she got back and there's this excitement that you can make a run, you have 6 games to play with toward the end of the first half of the season with Hoover and Vaughter there, and then Hoover gets hurt.
It's been a string of just bad luck, it feels like, in a lot of different ways for the Blaze.
This is Victoria Hayward hitting in the place of Tori Vidalis here. Outside ball 2 from Vaughter. A completely different story. The second and now the third time through this order.
And the other reason that they took a chance on Carly Hoover is just because of her experience in Japan and just how she's progressed since her career at LSU finished up, but also is the fact that nobody has seen her. And still really nobody has seen her. She just threw that one game and then had to come out. You just know that she healthy would be a big difference maker for this team.
Hayward to right field and off the wall. A double for Victoria Hayward that's going to score 2 more runs. And this game completely broken open now here in the 4th.
The Talons just do such a good job of passing the bat, and I feel like specifically in this inning, they've done such a good job of just staying in their legs and dropping their barrels down to these drop balls that are staying a little bit flat, not quite on a corner, and they're just ready for them. Seeing them up in the zone, getting a good pitch to hit again.
I think Hayward might have thought that was out of here. 9-1 the lead for the Talons. Let's check in with Savannah.
Well, Amanda, what you just mentioned is what the Talons have. Amanda, what you just mentioned is what the Talons have talked about is their strength. Hannah Flippen said this offense is spread out. The work is spread out. It relieves the pressure off of you too, because you know that 1 through 9 that this team can be successful. It has become the identity of this team, and it's what they feel most confident in when they step into games as an offense.
It's continuing to pass the bat and pick up where they left off. I mean, I'm sure as a team that had all the momentum like the Talons and the Bandits did, when you take that break, there's maybe a little bit of fear that you're like, oh, are we going to be able to do what we did in the first half? The second half, is it going to feel different? Like, we're taking a break and then getting the band back together. Is it going to feel the same? And for the Talons, there has to be this relief right now of seeing it feel exactly the same, getting a great outing from Megan Framo and put 9 runs on the board in 4 innings.
8th appearance of the season for the rookie out of Virginia Tech, Emma Lemley, who picked up the first win in franchise history for the Blaze against the Volts earlier this season. Gave up just 1 run in 5 innings. She actually received the first golden ticket and then was selected 3rd overall in the college draft. 2nd best ERA on the team, but at 5.33, and leads them in innings pitched with just over 22.
And you could tell that they were wanting to use her in relief, probably not in this exact situation, down by 8 runs, but at this point, you're trying to save the game in a different way because you're down by 8 runs. You don't want the Talons to extend this, because if the Talons get 3 outs in the top of the 5th inning, then they're going to go on to win. So a different type of save situation. They're down by 8 runs, but still want to lean on her to keep them into this game. Looking at their probable starters, it was Vaughter today, Aaliyah Binford, who was selected from the reserve pool, and during the break that just happened a couple of days ago, so breaking news there, but probable starter for Aaliyah Binford to start for them tomorrow, and then Alicia Ocasio on Wednesday, if things hold true.
Jacobson goes down swinging, 2 outs.
I think Emma Lemley has really good stuff. Great movement that we've seen from her, and has been able to venture a little bit away from just her rise ball that you grew to know and love and see her throw at Virginia Tech in her career there. Like the curveball like that she's been throwing, even a little bit of downspin to it, but has so much spin and late break.
0-1 to Palacios. Upstairs for ball one. You mentioned Aaliyah Binford, who will make her professional debut, we believe, tomorrow because of that probable pitching matchup. Be interesting to talk to Aaliyah, though. Hopefully we get the chance to ask her tomorrow just what she's done after playing at Ole Miss, leading them, helping lead them to their first ever Women's College World Series for Jamie Traxel and company in Oxford. She threw 11 innings at the Women's College World Series, 2 unearned runs. She was playing excellent at the end of her collegiate season. There she is out in the bullpen.
Competitor, too, you know?
She's fiery, had some big swings. She's a great two-way player. She really led the charge in the Tucson Regional to help them knock off the nationally seeded Arizona Wildcats. Palacios, the final batter to come up in the inning for them to bat around. And they will do so. So Bree Ellis, who started this inning by striking out and reaching first because the ball got away from Kowalik, will have another chance.
It's just not been the cleanest game for the Blaze defensively, too. I just don't think that they've looked sharp. I mean, thinking about how that situation started the inning, Leah Andrews bobbled a ball out there. Anissa Urtez has been a little bit behind the 8 ball over at shortstop. There's been some moments for them to make some plays, to have some quicker innings, and they've just not been able to do it defensively.
Lemley steps off as the pitch clock was winding down. It just felt too like the Volts get the win tonight. Blaze come out. You've got your really probably your ace in the circle with Vaughter. Gets off to a great start through 2 innings. You take the early lead in the 3rd, and then immediately the Talons jump on them with 4 and then 5 here in the 4th.
One big inning is already hard enough to come back from, but when you have back-to-back big innings in the 3rd and the 4th, like the Talons have put together here, it's just really defeating the other team.
Popped up and into the stands. Fans are trying to work out who's going to get that ball. Just outside from Lemley, 2-2.
Bit of an off-speed pitch there that just missed a little bit low, I think.
Three and 2. Switch things up tomorrow. Blaze and Bandits, Volts and Talons. Three-two, Sky. That just left our line of sight and finally falls back down for gold to end the 4th. Run rule territory, though. Blaze need at least 1 here in the top of the 5th. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is fueled by Gatorade. Fine evening just outside Chicago, Illinois, at Parkway Bank Sports Complex. We're still partying, still dancing in the stands. Sold out crowd for tonight's doubleheader. Talons trying to finish this one early in the top of the 5th. Run rule is in effect here if the Blaze cannot plate a run as they trail 9-1. 7-8-9 coming up. Anissa Ortez singled to lead off the 3rd inning and came around to score the lone run of the game for the Blaze. They led this game at one point, 1-0. Inside ball one from Megan Faremo. I guess you would say is looking for her first complete game.
Well, and see if she can come out and be sharp. That was a long half inning in the bottom of the 4th when her team was scoring all those runs, which I'm sure she was loving to see. But in the same breath, it's a little bit cooler tonight. It's easy to cool down and not stay as warm as maybe you need to be. And mentally, too, you start to just kind of fade away a little bit. It's just natural to do. It's nothing against Faremo or me or any other. It's just a natural human thing to do. So the question is, can she come out and attack these hitters, be ready mentally and physically to come out and get these last 3 outs?
Hard hit ball at Flippen. One former Utah star to another. Ortez and Flippen led them to Supers together back in 2017. One out for Alicia Ocasio, who struck out looking her first trip to the plate.
It is interesting to see, too, today, Chucky, how the Bandits and Talons kind of went different ways with their decisions of who you're going to start here in Rosemont. Of Bandits choosing to throw their ace as a probable starter for Game 3, and Talons choosing to throw arguably their ace alongside Georgina Korick in Game 1 and Game 2. Just different ways of going about these three games that they'll have here in Illinois. But how will that affect the rest of the 3 games in terms of momentum and just the strength of putting out your ace starter to start this out? Even though you want to give other innings to different pitchers and see them in different roles, the Talons threw Megan Faremo right out there.
How about the 1-2 punch, and really what would be a 1-2-3 punch, and you could throw in the 4th for the Talons, but Megan Faremo and Georgina Korick, that's the 3rd and 6th overall pick. Just hard to believe those two are on the same staff. And then you throw in Montana Fouts, who was really the staff leader early on because those two were gone, so she was leading the charge. She's on the injured list right now. And then the rookie Raylan Chafin, who's been an excellent piece of this, and entering the week had made just as many appearances as Megan Faremo, tied for the most on the team. She's got 4 wins as a rookie out of Mississippi State and has had some excellent performances.
Great Norman.
But the way Faremo's trending, the way Korick is, that is a dangerous 1-2 punch right now.
Picking up what you're putting down, for sure. And Montana Fouts, unfortunately, on the IL and has been for what, past 3 series now? Well, and they don't have Maya Brady either. She's on the IL. So I know we're talking about pitchers and she's a hitter, but throw her into the mix as a left-handed power hitter for the Talons. There's not a lot of lefty power in the lineup. You have Sacco, Allchin, and Aguilar. You got one more left-handed, really powerful bat there.
Ocasio, for the 2nd time tonight, goes down looking, and the Blaze down to their final out.
That's what you want to see from your pitcher, is just to go out and get these quick outs. I'm telling you, I've seen it go both ways. A pitcher go out and attack and finish, and then I've seen a pitcher come out and throw too many balls, give up some free passes, and then it leads to a hit and runs scored. And if you're the Talons, you want to end this game here.
This could do it. Back to Faramo to first, and that will do it. She started the game with a 1-2-3 inning. She ends the game with a 1-2-3 inning. A dominant performance from the Talons after falling behind 1-0. They respond with 9 runs in the last 2 frames.
And they answered right back. We talked about how the Blaze scored first. That happened at the top of the third. They answered back immediately in the bottom of the third and then put together a 5 spot the very next inning. Another complete game performance from the Talons. 1 through 9 getting it done.
First team to 10 wins.
First team to 10 wins.
They are starting to look for a magic number to clinch their spot in Tuscaloosa, and the way they're playing, who knows what the end of the weekend might bring. 5 games over the next 5 days for all of these teams. It'd be really interesting to see what these standings look like come a week from tonight. 9-1 winners, the Talons. Ali Aguilar, a big part of it with their 4th home run of the season, leads the team. 10-3 start for the Talons. We'll switch matchups tomorrow. We've got doubleheaders the next 2 days here in Rosemont. For Amanda Scarborough, Savannah Collins, and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Plenty more softball. The second half of the AUSL season underway.